afternoon and welcome to Maple Park here at beautiful Birmingham Seaholm High School. Our very first look at the new and improved baseball diamond here at Birmingham Seaholm High School. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, welcoming you to Game 3 of this three-game season series between rivals Birmingham Groves and Seaholm. Well, the first game went the way of the Seaholm Maples 7-5. The Groves Falcons came right back in game number 2 by the final score of 3-1, and it sets up this do-or-die winner-take-all rubber match between the Maples and the Falcons. The Maples have Kyle Robbins, their ace on the mound this afternoon, and Princeton commit Nick Schenenfeld has been the big bat in their lineup this season. Their head coach, John Toth, is alongside the second member of our broadcast team, Andy Aubrey.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We are down here with head coach John Toth of the Seaholm Maples. John, the undefeated season is off the table now, unfortunately. They got you on Tuesday night. Great ball game, and I think of those two games, you played both teams very fundamentally sound ball. What was your message to the team after that loss?
We're just too complacent right now. We're just walking out, think we can beat anyone no matter what. Even the game we won, we've been down in 3 of the 7 games we've played. So we just want to get off to a better start and get back to playing our baseball, and then obviously we got to hit the ball.
Well, that's true. They may have had something to do with that. Their pitcher was on fire, but I thought he kept you guys off balance a little bit. But again, a sound ball game played by both directions. So you're here on your own field tonight. What's the new field been like for you guys?
Look at this place. It's awesome. Look at this place. The place looks great. Obviously, it's turf, clean hops. You can always practice, can always play. It's an awesome place to come watch a game. We love it here. It couldn't be better.
All right, to finish up then, let's talk about your team tonight. Any scratches? The pitcher, what can you tell us about this game?
You'll see Kyle Robbins on the mound. He's the guy that beat Brother Rice last year. Just hard throwing righty, slider, sinker. Jack Lewis is scratched. He's just got the flu, so we sent him home, told him to get better, and then we'll just go out and try to win a game.
Okay. Well, we'll keep this one short and sweet. We won't say a thing about what you told me you were going to say about Coach Morrison, so we won't have to cut anything. This is really good.
Great guy, nicest guy, best coach I've ever seen, best Birmingham coach, no doubt.
Right. Okay. We'll get his take on that later. I'm sure he'll have equally complimentary things to say about you.
Good.
All right, we'll wrap it up for now. Send it back up to Brad.
As for the Groves Falcons, they come in with a 9-2 record. They gave Seaholm their very first loss of the season and are looking to take this 3-game series here on the road. They've had 8 runs on 16 hits in this series, and really the offense has been clicking really thanks in large part to Rosenwasser, who carries a .618 average into play this afternoon. Oh, by the way, he has 18 RBIs on the season. Bronell Cuthrell will be on the mound getting the start this afternoon, so it should be one heck of a pitcher's duel this afternoon. Sean Morrison, their head coach, the main man over at Birmingham Groves, is alongside our main man, Andy Aubrey.
All right, thanks again, Brad. We are now here with Sean Morrison, the coach of Groves, who got a big win Tuesday night, knocked off the rivals across the way, dealt them their first loss of the season. Summarize that game for us, Sean, how all things went for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were able to take some of the momentum from the first game into that second game, and obviously scoring several runs in the last inning of the game 1 kind of gave us the momentum, and we were able to piece it together. So it was a good win for us.
I thought your pitcher, Kyle, kept them off balance all night. I mean, they never really got in a groove. A couple hard hit balls, nothing like we saw Monday, but hats off to him. So it's got to feel good to give them a loss. Now you're on their field. Nice looking facility, similar to yours, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I like our color scheme better, but they've pieced it together over here as well. So it's come together across the district.
Yeah, a little spit for tape there. Now, Toth called you possibly the greatest coach in Birmingham athletics. What would you say to that about him?
Oh, geez, I'm following this. Are you baiting me? What's going on here?
Yeah. No, we can cut it out if it gets really ugly, but I know you guys have a lot of respect for each other.
Yes, we do have a lot of respect for each other. He's put together some good seasons over here, and I feel like we've done the same. So we're on track for a great season, 9-2. They're 5-1, so probably relatively similar winning percentages. I think that we're both in a good spot. And West Bloomfield's going to be tough for us. We got a, strong league, and so I think it's going to come down to one of us three. Is my guess so far from what I've seen. So.
His 9th year. You've been here how long now?
Same.
Same time. Wow, impressive. All right. Well, best of luck today, Coach. The rubber match. This is it. Right. So we look forward to it.
All the marbles.
And we are going to have the first pitch coming right up, so don't go away.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to Maple Park here at Birmingham Seaholm High School. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey. Let's quickly meet the starting lineup first for the road team, the Groves Falcons. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Tyler Bronchick. Batting second, the shortstop, Stephen Whitted. Batting third, Jake Rosenwasser, the second baseman. Cleaning things up will be the pitcher, Cole Brunel Cuthrell. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Hunter Tengler. Batting sixth, the right fielder, John Ravella. Batting seventh, playing first base, Nathan Lucken. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Benji Cook. And in the ninth spot will be the catcher, Brady Vichazone. As for the Maples defensively, around the infield, it'll be Nick Schenenfeld at third. Brandon Kinney at shortstop. Nick Davis at second base. Colton Kinney down at first. And the outfield defense from left to right will be Logan Davis, Jack Kelly, and Louis Sullivan. The battery today for the Maples, Aiden Wolfson in his familiar spot behind home plate. And getting the start on the mound will be Kyle Robbins. Robbins made a short but very effective start in his first start of the season. Went 4 innings, Andy picked up the victory, gave up 1 run. It was earned. He struck out 6, walked 4, but did not give up a hit.
Didn't give up a hit. Very good outing. And, yeah, we've seen 2 pretty good ball games, Brad, this week, Monday and Tuesday. Clean events. Not a lot of errors. Couple that were on the fence, rather they were hits or errors, but for the most part, neither team has anything to hang their head over. Coach Toth wanted to win them all. Of course, that's the competitive nature, but he took the loss against the arch rival, and I'm sure Coach Morrison was pleased with his team's effort. It was close. It was nip and tuck, that game on Tuesday, so should be a good one today. We're going to break the tie. We get the rubber match.
In terms of how close these two teams have been through those 2 games, both teams have scored 8 runs. Falcons have 16 hits, the Maples 12. Rubber match of this 3-game season series. So glad you decided to tune us in here on BACB Sports. Partly sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-60s, barely any breeze, but what breeze is blowing in. We can feel it just barely here in the Greg Sherman press box. First pitch underway, misses low and inside, and we are underway.
Yeah, nice day, windows open, doors open, don't need the air conditioning, it's just a beautiful spring day.
Pitch misses up and away, a shake of the head, no by the home plate umpire. 2 balls, no strikes on the leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Tyler Bronchick. Bronchick 2 for 8 with an RBI and a run scored, carries a .314 average into play this afternoon. A little bit of a generous strike call there on the outside corner.
Well, we saw a little of that on Tuesday. That umpire had a very wide strike zone.
Still a good hitter's count here on the center fielder, Bronchick. Breaking ball breaks right down the middle. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And if you talk to managers, and we did both of them, they don't mind, different strike zones as long as it's consistent.
Bronchick goes down swinging, first out of the ball game. And it brings up the ultra-talented Stephen Whitted.
Yeah, keep the strike zone consistent for both teams and carry it through the same way throughout the entire game. That's all they would ask. At least you know where you're at, especially the next time you come up.
Whitted 3 for 8 in the 2 ball games, a double, a couple runs scored, as well as a stolen base. 400 average as there's a strike on the outer part of the plate. 400 average for Whitted, slightly open stance for the shortstop. Another really good breaking ball by Kyle Robbins.
Yeah, these curves from Robbins are really got a lot of bend to them, and we're sitting right behind home plate, so we can have a good vantage point.
And we can see him snap it off as he steps off the rubber. Whitted will step out of the box. Kyle Robbins working over on that first base side of the rubber. Pauses at the belt, comes home with the 0-2 pitch, misses up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Whitted. Whitted will be playing baseball next season at Wayne State University. And that is a very cool diamond. Ernie Harwell Field at Wayne State University. They have some of his artifacts from his broadcasting days for the Detroit Tigers. They also have the old Tigers Stadium scoreboard that is kind of built into the left field fence over at Wayne State.
Very nice. Yeah, Wayne State's getting a good player with Stephen Whitted.
Whitted goes
He
down
says
with a
he
healthy
strikes
cut.
out. But no, he gave Groves a lot of good at-bats these first 2 games of this series. We've seen him. It seemed like whenever he was up, good things happen, and he's fast on the base pass as well as a good fielder.
So leave things up now to the second baseman, Jake Rosenwasser. Rosenwasser, terrific on the mound on Tuesday. A little bit of a how do you do swing there by Rosenwasser. You can already get the sense that Robbins has these guys fooled.
Yeah, there's keeping him off balance early.
Rosenwasser 3 for 6 in the series. Rolls one down to Schenenfeld down at third. Good, healthy throw across the diamond. Gets Rosenwasser in plenty of time. A 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Kyle Robbins. Maples coming to bat for the first time in the ball game. Next on BACB Sports.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Falcons have taken the field. Let's meet the starters first for the Seaholm Maples. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Jack Kelly. Batting second, the catcher, Aiden Wolfson. Batting third, Nick Schenenfeld, playing third base. Cleaning things up today for the Maples will be the first baseman, Colton Kinney. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Grandin Kinney. In the sixth spot will be the second baseman, Nick Davis, while Louis Sullivan will bat seventh and play right field. The eighth place batter will be the left fielder, Logan DeVos, while Eamon Werner will DH and bat ninth. The Falcon defense in the infield, Hunter Tengler at third, Stephen Whitted at shortstop, Jake Rosenwasser at second base, while Nathan Luckin will have the first base duties today. In the outfield, Benji Cook will patrol left field, while Tyler Bronchick draws center field. John Ravella will be out in right, and Brady Veach's own back behind the plate took a scary collision down at first base in that last ball game as he was running down the first base line, and appears to be okay. He's built tough, is what I was told in the dugout, so he's going to give it a go today, and he will be catching the starting pitcher, Cole Bronell Cuthrell. 24 innings pitched, making his fifth start of the season. The lefty is a perfect 4-0 with a 2.63 ERA. He's given up 9 runs, all of them earned, while scattering 21 hits. He struck out 27 while issuing just 5 base on balls. Bruno Cuthrell will be taking his talents next season to Kalamazoo College. Beach's zone, the catcher will be playing ball next year at Henry Ford Community College.
For the Maples, it's Jack Kelly.
So Jack Kelly to lead things off, scoreless after a quick 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Maples. Takes a called strike on the outer half. Good look there from our center field camera. That's our main man, Jason Radulski, out there in center field.
That's the one and only? He's out there. Yeah, looks like him. That's him, all right.
Now, did he draw the short straw for that assignment, or is that the main gig out there?
I was going to say, maybe he's out of the way and nobody's bugging him out there.
That one's fouled straight back.
He's run a few cameras in his day.
I should say. He's a
his
pro's
way.
pro out there on that
He
camera.
is. We're graced with some real professionals.
Cole Brunell Cutthroat into the windup. There's Uncle Charlie. Both pitchers not afraid to snap off a curveball.
We've seen a lot of them already.
And I think Rosenwasser kind of hinted at that in his post-game interview as Jack Kelly goes down looking for a strikeout of the ball game for Cole Brunell Cutthroat. Rosenwasser mentioned to you that he threw a lot more breaking stuff, a lot more off-speed pitches. He felt that the Maple lineup kind of attacked them with the hard stuff on Monday, so they went to a more soft approach on Tuesday and had the Maples offensively a little bit more off balance.
Yeah, it certainly worked, and this is a lineup full of hitters on Seaholm, and they were just out of sorts on Tuesday. Thanks to Jake, he had a masterful performance.
Gave up 5 hits in that ball game, all of which were singles. This is perhaps a playable ball by the third baseman. No, Tingler just runs out of room along the third baseline. Ends up in the bullpen area. What would you say, Andy? About 75% of the way through with the construction?
Looks that way. Yeah, there's a big old pile of dirt the other side of the right field wall. I can't believe that's going to stay there long.
Those aren't mountains.
Oh, Mount Birmingham.
And a nice play by Cole Brunell Cutthroat, fielding his position. Had to go ranging wide to his left to field that one. Flips it underhand over to Nathan Luckin at first base. 2 up, 2 down. Brings up Nick Schenenfeld, the third baseman. So Schenenfeld's kind of moved all over the diamond defensively. Had the big blast on Monday, that grand slam home run. Has added on a single in Tuesday's ballgame, and a ground rule double in Monday's game as well. So 3 for 6 in the series with 5 RBI. And there's another clean base hit into center field. Boy, oh boy, is he a good hitter.
Yeah, he just looks so smooth up there. Nothing rattles him, and he just gets good cuts, and he didn't get anything he could drive deep on that particular pitch. But, hey, like you said, Brad, a clean single right up the middle into center field, and he now stands on first with 2 outs.
Love those contrasting colors in the infield, alternating between light and dark as Colton Kinney's going to shop at the gap into the left center gap. Schenenfeld's going to be held at third base. Nice job getting the ball into the center of the diamond. So back-to-back hits, a single for Schenenfeld, now a double for Colton Kinney. That's Kinney's first hit of the series, so he was due, and he laced a sharp double into the left center gap.
Yeah, he wasted no time. He jumped on the first pitch he liked, and it was a rocket. And, again, a good job by that center field to get the ball back in quickly to keep the Seaholm runners on the base paths and not scoring.
So brings up Grandin Kinney, an opportunity for the Maples to stake claim to the early lead, and that's kind of been Seaholm's M.O. That ball bounces up to the plate. Good smother job by the catcher, Vichazone. Nick Davis waits on deck. You wonder perhaps if the Falcons will pitch Grandin Kinney a little bit more carefully with the base open. They don't. He hits one to shallow right field. Ravella a couple steps in, calls everyone off, and makes the catch. The Maples, with 2 men in scoring position, failed to score after 1 inning of play. 0-0.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
It'll be 4, 5, 6 to lead things off for the Falcons. Cole Brownell Cuthro, the pitcher, looking to help his cause. Cuthro looking for his first hit in the series. Does have an RBI. This is a bat the Falcons wouldn't mind to get going just a bit. Brownell Cuthro goes down into that crouch, takes a look at a called strike. Rests the bat on the back shoulder.
Yeah, I noticed that about him. That was.
Now he asks for time and granted it. So a little bit of back and forth now between Robbins and Brownell Cuthro. Neither was quite set and ready to go. Big swing and a miss by Brownell Cuthro. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. Pitch misses up.
It's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Brownell Cuthro. And takes a look at one too many. Already Robbins' 3rd punch out of the ball game.
Yeah, he is grooving. He really is. He's throwing that big banana bender that's caught the outside corner more than once so far.
Next up, batting in the 5th spot in the order, it's number 10.
Hunter Tengler, 2 for 7 in the series with an RBI.
The 3rd baseman.
This is his 9th RBI of the season to go along with a .300 batting average. Boy, that is a good breaking ball when you have the hitter bending out of the way.
Yeah, and it came right over the plate. Yeah.
Just a big old front door sweeping curve. Terrific look from our center field camera again. Slider catches the outer half of the strike zone quickly. 0-2 the count on Tengler.
So that's the sweeper then?
Yeah, that one was the sweeper. Didn't have quite the bend on it from 12 to 6. I have noticed Bally's has gone more to the sweeper rather than the slider. That was the curve, and that one is golfed out into center field. First hit of the ball game for the Falcons. Belongs to Hunter Tengler, and it's a single.
Yeah, the color commentators on Bally's, Monroe and some of these guys use these terms that we've been watching baseball for 100 years, right? But it's a sweeper. Don't forget velo. You got to use that term, right? For
whoa, quick throw over at first is wild. Kyle Stratton, the first base coach, pointing to second base. Tengler's going to make the turn and hold at second. So miscue there on the pickoff attempt. Dangerous hitter at the plate here for the Falcons, and John Ravella. 2 for 5 in the series with an RBI, a run scored, couple of walks. So he's been on base 4 times. One of the leading RBI guys on this Falcon squad with 13. He has a .429 average and 4 doubles on the season. I would love to know the difference between a sweeper and a slider. I think it's
that's a fair question to ask.
It's the same thing. Maybe just not as much speed on a sweeper. Pitch misses up and away.
Well, over the years, we've certainly seen a lot of different descriptions for pitches. The fork ball, don't forget that.
The palm ball.
The palm ball, the screw ball.
Split finger. Jack Morris threw a
pitch,
terrific splitter.
Yeah, he was the master.
And that Falcon visitors dugout making some noise. A little shake of the head by Robbins. Thought he had the strike. Instead, count runs to 3 balls, no strikes. Healthy lead off his second base from Tengler. And this is on 4 straight to Ravella. He'll scamper the 90 feet down the first baseline. It'll bring up Nathan Luckin. Couple runners on base and just 1 down offensively for the Falcons.
You talk about pitching. Pat McAfee today had Randy Johnson on his show.
The big unit.
Now, there was a guy who could pitch. And they, of course, they had to show the video of when he hit the bird. It was a
Yeah,
spring
down in
training
spring
game.
training,
I forgot
yeah.
about that, but it's just so shocking to see it. I've seen it hundreds of times, but you never really get used to it. Neither did the bird, by the way.
Randy Johnson, a photographer now.
Oh, he's got some amazing shots. He's gone all over the world. I didn't realize that about some of his photos he's taken. Amazing stuff. African safaris and up all over the place.
My favorite Randy Johnson moment is the All-Star game when he went high and tight on John Kruk.
Yep.
And knocked him off the plate, and Kruk put his batting helmet on backwards and eventually went down swinging. But there was probably no more intimidating presence on the mound than Randy Johnson.
Yeah, and those swings he made, Kruk, they were about as weak and as quick. You could just sense he wanted out of there fast.
Couldn't wait to make that left-hand turn back into the dugout.
Yeah, everybody was laughing. Johnson, Kruk, the umpires, all of them.
Robbins checks on the runner at first. Maple's not holding Ravella on. Robbins waits an extra beat on the mound, comes in with the breaking ball, fouled off of the protective netting, and still makes its way onto the football field. Apparently we didn't build a high enough protective netting.
Yeah, you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they probably needed another 5 feet for that last one of fencing.
Straight heat this time, same spot. Oh, it dings off of the light pole. Comes back into play. It takes talent to do that. Bit of a battle here between Robbins and Luckin, and that one hit Luckin. 3 straight batters have reached here on Robbins after he set down the first 4 in the ball game. Base is full now, and Benji Cook will bat from the 8th place in the lineup.
Benji Cook, the left fielder.
So Kyle Robbins was cooking. He had 3 strikeouts, recorded 4 straight outs, and now after the Tingler single, he walked Ravella and then hit Nathan Luckin.
Yeah, home plate's moving around on him a little bit. There you see that last hit by the pitch, which loaded him up.
Big opportunity in the early parts of this ball game. Benji Cook at the plate, slightly bent stance, bends out of the way of a breaking ball that catches the plate. Man, oh man.
That ball is breaking 4 feet, easy.
That's why I gave up baseball after my freshman year of high school.
Smart man.
I had trouble with the curve.
They say if you can't hit the curve, you don't really have much of a future in the game. And I didn't either. It's okay, Brad. We're not alone. I feel there were others who've similarly met our fate.
Yeah, the golf ball stays on its tee. It doesn't move around like those curveballs do. Found it a lot easier to hit a golf ball than a baseball. Oh, my goodness. Cook goes fishing. Comes up empty. 4th strikeout already for Kyle Robbins. He's recorded 5 outs, 4 of which have come via the strikeout, and it's going to lead things up to Brady Veach's zone.
Now batting in the ninth spot, number 14.
Veach's zone 1 for 4 in the series. 276 average coming into play this afternoon. Mentioned he's going to Henry Ford Community College to play baseball. Wish him good luck next season. Strike on the black. Ooh, boy, is that paint in the corner or what? Get another look here at this punch out of Benji Cook. Another curveball and a beauty.
Yeah, he is absolutely freezing these right-handed batters because they're flinching as it looks like it's coming right for them. But more often than not, it's been curling right over the plate.
Robbins goes right back to the breaking ball. Foul tipped into the glove of Aiden Wolfson. 5th strikeout of the ball game leaves them loaded. Falcons threaten. Do not score. We head to the home half of the second inning. No score.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Early scoring chances for both teams. Nothing to show for it yet. Bottom of the second inning.
Hitting off the bottom of the second inning is number 3.
Nick Davis, Louis Sullivan, and Logan DeVos due up for the Maples. Two aces on the mound. Chopper down to third, waist high bounce, quickly across the diamond. Tengler to Luckin. One up, one down, 5-3 on the putout.
Yeah, this artificial surf gives you some of those big bounders, and that was one of them. It took a big high leap into the air. Fielded on the short hop, a nice strong throw across the diamond.
Next up is number 7, Louis Sullivan.
Yeah, old school baseball diamonds, that ball would have been on the ground rather than that nice big hop. A strike called in and out of the glove of each his own.
Reminds me when we first started to see baseball played on artificial surfaces, whether it was the Houston Astrodome or some of those National League parks, Philadelphia, Cincinnati,
Pittsburgh, yep.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, they were all had just like they were playing on rubber.
Yeah, all those cookie cutter stadiums built in the 80s. That one drives John Ravella a little bit deeper than he anticipated. Backpedals to make the catch, 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, Ravella made a nice adjustment on that. That wind, as we look at the flag in left center, does appear to be going out to right a little.
Yeah, kind of switched.
That might have aided that particular hit.
Logan DeVos.
The wind was sort of blowing in from center field, and now it is kind of switched positions and blowing sort of out towards right. Curveball called strike on Logan DeVos. Another curveball, swing and a miss by DeVos. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 away. Kind of get the sense we are settling in for quite the pitcher's duel this afternoon.
Ooh, a little high. Yeah, they are in complete control, these pitchers, with the exception of last inning when they Groves loaded the bases. Things are cooking along quite nicely here.
Pitch misses in. 2 balls, 2 strikes that count on Logan DeVos. 2 pitchers that work relatively quickly. I think Cole Brownell Cutthroat works a little bit quicker than Robbins does. But as a defender, you love that.
As a broadcaster, you don't mind it either.
Well, these games have been cranking along. Haven't seen many pitching changes. Starters have remained in the games. And the umpire says, yes, sir. Second strikeout. Both of them looking. We head to the 3rd inning. No score.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Falcon lineup has turned over. It'll be the leadoff man, Tyler Brunchick, to lead things off. Top of the 3rd inning. Nothing. Our score, Kyle Robbins back to work. And Andy, Kyle Robbins, we mentioned a couple of the players and where they're going to school next season. Robbins will be pitching at Eastern Michigan University in Ypsilanti.
Yes, good old Mid-American Conference School.
Bronchick struck out swinging in his first plate appearance, one of 5 strikeouts thus far for Kyle Robbins. Wolfson tried to frame that for a called strike, didn't get the call. Missed low. That 2 misses too low. Robbins comes home with the breaking ball. He's been automatic with that curve. That one inside, misses. And Bronchick will work the walk.
Well, Brad, in honor of our first broadcast here in the new Maples field, and how about this press box? I don't feel like we're going to tumble into the sea here with rotted floorboards or anything like we used to in the old Seaholm press box. But I thought it would be fun to kind of run down some of the Major League Baseball stadiums and did some research on that. We'll go through for the rest of the game.
Stephen Whitted takes a called strike. Yeah, I think baseball stadium's so unique in the fact that everyone is built a little bit differently. They each have their own characteristics and quirks, and I think that is the most unique thing about baseball fields is there are some very unique features to some of them.
Absolutely. And the resource I drew from was two, actually. One was USA Today. The other one was SportsIllustrated.com. And the list was similar. They were fairly forgiving on some and liked the top ones the best and were absolutely universal in their disdain for the lowest.
Well, I think I have a pretty good guess as Whitted chops one down the third baseline. Good play down there by head coach Sean Morrison.
Well, it's so bad I feel like we could spend the entire show just talking about it, and that is, of course, Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland Coliseum, yeah.
And, you know, what a mess for their fans, what's going on there, and now they're going to be playing in a minor league ballpark for a few years until they get this Vegas thing sorted out. And unbelievable. But, yeah, no one liked that place.
The dugouts used to flood with sewage as Whitted goes down looking. I think there was a possum that lived in the press box.
Oh, there's feral cat. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on out there. There's a lot of nicknames for the place, as a matter of fact. But believe it or not, the actual name for the stadium now is Ring Central Coliseum, which I really only found in so many places. I think they're still calling it Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. But again,
I don't know who in their right mind would want to slap a sponsorship on that ballpark. Would you want your name synonymous with the Oakland Coliseum?
No, I wouldn't. No one asked me, but no, I would not. Some of the nicknames I found for it were the Black Hole, the Milk Bowl, and baseball's last dive bar, which is not complimentary at all.
Well, I think the Black Hole is in reference to when the Raiders played there.
Yeah, right.
Rosenwasser at the plate now. Robbins comes home with it. A little hit and run. Throw a little bit too high to get a tag down. So it'll be a stolen base for Bronchick. Moves him into scoring position.
So I'm going to quiz you on a couple of these names, too, because as we know, the sponsorship names change quite frequently in these places. And that's 30th best, 29th best, or worst, if you like, is Tropicana Field in Tampa. No one's ever really seemed to like that place either.
No, baseball shouldn't be played indoors anyway.
Well, the only place I saw a lot of support for a roof is Seattle.
Because of the rain, sure.
Right, because it's always raining out there. And it's a retractable dome with that, so if they get, a nice day, they can open it up. And in fact, I'm looking forward to being out there this August myself. Not for a ball game, for a Foo Fighters concert. So if it rains, bring it on. We'll close the doors and the windows and the roof.
Boy, oh boy, Rosenwasser goes down swinging, and that looked like a very uncomfortable at-bat. 7 strikeouts now. 7 of the 8 recorded outs via the strikeout.
That's dealing.
Cole Brunell Cutthroat now at the plate.
Batting number 22, Cole Brunell Cutthroat.
Are you a fan of Comerica Park?
Well, I didn't like it as much coming from Tiger Stadium. I don't know that many people did. It found sort of a middle-of-the-road.
Yeah.
There was a couple of lists I saw that had it down towards the bottom, that it was kind of nondescript, and they found that merry-go-round and all this was sort of nonsense, sort of a distraction as much of an addition to the place. They touted the skyline view, which is true and nice.
Ronell Cutthroat follows one close to our live production truck.
Yeah, we had a driver's training car drive through there a moment ago. How'd you like to be on your first road test and get a baseball in the side window? That probably would wake you up a little bit.
Bronchick, a good secondary lead down at second base, trying to score on a base hit. One has to feel. Runs will be at a premium this afternoon. Got to take advantage of these situations when they present themselves. Can't think of any weird, quirky features at Comerica Park. Obviously, Tiger Stadium had the overhang in right field and the flag bowl in play in center. Another strikeout. 8 in the ball game now. Kyle Robbins is absolutely filthy, folks. Bottom of the third coming up next right here on BACB Sports.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
Looking for our first run of the ball game. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Maples. Kyle Robbins just dealing right now. Struck out the side. Now looks to get his offense going to give him a bit of a lead here. Cole Ronell Cutthroat trying to do his best to keep the Maples off balance. Werner with the hit down the third baseline, going to take the turn at first and scamper home, or scamper back to the bag rather. So Spencer Werner, the leadoff single.
Yeah, this ball just hugs the line. You can see it here. He takes a nice swing, just past the outstretched arms and down the left field line.
Kelly.
Now, number 28 on the list, let's test Mr. Fetters if he can remember the original name to this ballpark. You see it on your way into downtown Chicago, in the south side.
Comiskey Park.
Originally, now known as
Guaranteed Rate Field.
And what was it called in between?
It was a cellular company.
That's right, U.S. Cellular.
Yeah, there we go.
And if, beware, if you name your stadium or arena a cell phone company, you can almost guarantee the name of that's going to be changing in time, inside of 5 years or so. Or banks. Banks have been another one. And insurance companies. They've seem to have had a epidemic of name changes.
Well, I don't even think Comerica is based in Michigan anymore,
No,
are they?
I think it's in Texas.
Aiden
But it's
Wolfson,
still Comerica at least.
after the sacrifice bunt. This is going to be a tough play for Benji Cook. On a full sprint, dives. Oh, and he does a header into the fence.
Wow. I hope he didn't hit one of those supports. He looks okay. He bounces back up. But you're right, Brad. He went full steam into that fencing down the left field line.
He gave us a thumbs up. He's going to go over and fix the fence.
Fix the hole in the fence. He did. He hit the gate portion, and it opened up. Which
There's
probably
another thumbs up.
helped him out a little bit. He's bound to have some scrapes up on his forearms after this.
And here's
What an
the
effort.
replay. Loses the hat. And it was, he was able to get his head out of the way in time. He kind of turned it.
Oh, that could have been bad.
Not quite a car crash, but close to it. Went all out. Good effort by the left fielder, Cook. One on, one out. Another curveball. Freezes Wolfson. balls, 2 strikes to count on the catcher. Maples electing to play a little bit of small ball. Leadoff single for Spencer Werner. Sacrificed over by Jack Kelly. Now an opportunity for Wolfson to drive in the first run of the game. Ooh, home plate umpire flinched but did not go up with the right hand. Nick Schenfeld, the very dangerous bat, looms in the on-deck circle. Wolfson with that slightly open stance waits on the breaking ball and fouls it away right at home plate. Good dimensions, 296 down the left field line, 309 down the right field line. High chop to third, looks at the runner, goes across the diamond, and gets Wolfson by a step.
Over to look, and there's 2 away.
So a little bit of an advantage here for the right-hand hitters. 361 to left center, 363 to right center. Not quite as dramatic of a center field dimensions as, say, the Polo Grounds. Andy, remember the Polo Grounds?
A little before my time. Remember it, yes. I remember
483 feet to dead center, and, of course, a very notorious catch out in center field by Willie Mays at the Polo Grounds.
With his back to the infield.
You got it.
Running towards the fence.
We're not quite sure, are we? There's been some conflicting reports of whether or not Tiger Stadium was really 440 to dead center. A lot of people don't think it was quite that far away from home plate. That was more of a visual intimidation.
May have been. Well, no player was going to get out there and measure it, I don't think.
Schenenfeld moves the arms out of the way and takes a called strike on the inner half.
You know, a couple of these stadiums, though, they just seem so nondescript. The way they were talking about it, it's like, just another new place. Just another new place. You know, nothing really stands out. No redeeming qualities to speak of. I mean, Chase Field, they have a swimming pool. All right, cool.
In Arizona.
Great American Ballpark, Cincinnati. Kind of a nothing place, apparently. Same with Nationals Park in Washington.
Cincinnati's got the riverboat out in center field. Ooh, that one just misses out.
And a place that sounds completely forgettable is Milwaukee's.
Been there a couple times.
American Family Field. It used to be Miller Park, but
they too have a retractable roof.
Yeah, and it takes 10 minutes to open and close it, by the way.
Schenfeld grounds one down the first baseline. And home plate umpire, that's his call, is going to say fair, and he's going to say out. So Schenenfeld grounds out 3 unassisted. And it was kind of an awkward play down there by Luckin. And now Coach Toth is going to argue the call. The way Luckin fielded that ground ball.
Well, you'd like to see it again because the ball was fielded in foul territory, although it went over the base, kind of bounded over the first base. It was definitely left side of the first base line as it left the bat, but Coach Toth's out there being Coach Toth at the moment, advocating for his squad as a good manager should.
And it is where it goes over the bag. Let's get another look at it here. And this should be a terrific viewpoint. And this one bounds.
Look foul, didn't it? It's tough. The catcher was in our way, but I think that
it clearly bounced in fair territory and then kind of angled out.
The question is, did it catch any of the bag as it was in the air, bouncing towards foul territory when it was fielded, right?
Now let's get another look at it here. Did it take a bounce at home plate?
It hit the plate, which means it would have been foul.
Boy, that looks like it's in fair territory and then fielded in foul territory.
Huh. Well, it's one of those, in the course of a season, there's going to be plays like that. Sometimes the ump will miss, but for the most part, it's going to be close.
So stay right here. Coach Toth not going to win that argument. He realizes how vital every at-bat is in this ball game because both pitchers have just been absolute dynamite.
Yeah, a lot of zeros up there. Nobody's been able to get really solid. There's maybe first inning, a couple shots by Seaholm, but those runners were stranded.
So it'll be 5, 6, 7 to bat for the Falcons. Tangler to lead things off does have a single. It was the only hit of the ball game thus far for Groves. Pitch misses low. 2 balls, no strikes, the count on Tangler. That one makes Tangler duck out of the way. Another pitch missing inside. So Robbins has had his fair share of base on balls in this game. It's his 3rd free pass to go along with a hit by pitch.
John Ravella, number 5.
So the Falcons have had the base paths busy.
Oh, yeah, they've put some people on.
Now Ravella going to drop down a bunt. It's a good one. A little underhand toss by Robbins over to Kinney. 1-3 on the putout. Sacrifice, no at bat for Ravella. Moves Tangler down to second base. Now the lower third of the order is going to have to do work. It'll be Nathan Luckin. He was hit by a pitch in his lone at bat. Slightly chokes up on that bat. Thought about offering, doesn't. Called strike. Have you been to any of the historic ballparks? Have you been to Fenway or Wrigley, Andy?
No, I've driven by many, but not actually seen a game.
Uncorks a wild pitch. Ooh, might have had a play down at third. That ball bounded off the padding here at Maple Field.
Although I have been to a game at the next stadium on the list, which is number 23, Angel Stadium. And not a very nice place. My recollection of it was a broken pipe spoiling water all over a concourse we were walking through.
Curveball catches the inner half.
And other than that, relatively nondescript. They've got that rock thing in center field. Which is
The big
cool,
A,
but,
yeah.
You know, it's like, whatever, you know.
Luck and an opportunity. The runner 90 feet away. You got to get out to Wrigley. It's a very cool experience. Obviously, the ivy on the wall.
Yeah, Wrigley's in the top 5 on this list. We'll get to it a little later.
Luckin kind of just pulled the hands in and serves that one into shallow right field. It'll be an RBI single for Nathan Luckin. So the small ball pays off for the Falcons. They lead it 1-0.
Well, with runs being at a premium, the way these pitchers are dealing today, that is a very important first run on the board for Groves, and they're feeling good about themselves.
Batting number 7.
Only one out now and a runner on first.
Benji Cook.
Truest definition of manufacturing a run. Tangler walked to lead things off. Sacrificed over to second base. Went to third on a wild pitch. And was driven in by the single of Nathan Luckin. Seventh RBI of the season for Luckin. Another wild pitch. And Robbins kind of came off the mound and sort of trying to work out his arm.
Yeah, he's overthrowing it on those 2 wild pitches. He's just kind of been overt in his motion, the follow-through in particular. He fell off the mound, and he's got to kind of keep that in check. Well, while they're having a chat out there, the next stadium on the list at 22, and this is not a very good sign, Brad, is the newest stadium built, Globe Life Field in Texas.
No.
Built in 2020, and they said it just looks kind of like a office building.
Well, it's hosted a World Series.
That's not a compliment, I don't think. They also say the air conditioning can operate when the retractable roof is open, which doesn't feel very, I don't know,
energy
economical.
efficient.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of the height of excess, I think.
Tapper, shortstop Kinney charges and gets bailed out by his brother Colton. Good pick down at first base.
Kinney over to Colton Kinney, and there's 2 down.
Round out to the shortstop. 6-3 on the putout. That'll leave things up to Brady Vichazone. Strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Falcons have struck first. They lead at 1-0. Top of the 4th inning. Vichazone takes a look at a called strike. Robbins comes home with the 0-1, misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, so your $1.1 billion to build a baseball stadium in suburban Dallas gets you basically a warehouse-looking, ugly facility.
With apparently a very good air conditioning.
And a great air conditioning unit. Following that is the Rogers Center, the old Sky Dome. Remember?
Ah, yes.
And, you know, it still looks pretty modern. It's kind of space-age for considering it's built in '89. I didn't realize it was that old.
They have made all kinds of improvements to that stadium. It's got a hotel out in center field.
Yeah, oh, there was a few notorious stories. Oh, look out.
I have been to the Rogers Center. Saw a Tiger victory there. In the shadow of the CN Tower.
Downtown Toronto is quite a fantastic place.
Toronto as a city is a terrific place. Whoa! Wolfson was ready to take off the catcher's mask. He thought he had strike 3. Little shake of the head. Home plate umpire. Hands on his hips. 3-2 count. Here comes the payoff pitch from Robbins. Swung on, lifted, up and out of play. Robbins gets the new baseball, goes behind the mound, gets the rosin bag, now goes to the mouth. Glares in at his catcher, Wolfson. Shakes him off. Now they've settled on a payoff pitch. The 3-2, swung on, lifted to left. Logan Davis, couple steps in, going to defer to Jack Kelly, the center fielder, and a full-on sprint. Makes the catch. The Falcons push across 1 and leave a man in scoring position. After 3.5 innings of play, it's 1-0. Falcons in front.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Seaholm Maples find themselves trailing in this ball game 1-0. It'll be the cleanup hitter Colton Kinney to lead things off. Doubled back in the first, but was stranded there. Jammed them inside. Quickly in an 0-2 hole. Sun is ducked behind some cloud coverage now, Andy. I think the temperature has dropped just a bit as well.
It has, yes. It's much cooler. There was a cold breeze just a minute ago, in fact.
Beach's zone set up outside. Grounder down to Tingler at third. Quickly up and across the diamond for the first out.
Well, moving along with our stadium rundown, next up was Yankee Stadium. And they said, unfortunately, all the new Yankee Stadium makes you think of is wishing it was the old Yankee Stadium.
I'm sure the same could be said about Comerica Park.
Well,
right?
that's true. They said it's very corporate there. You know, it feels like you're at a corporate retreat, as a matter of fact.
Now, I was talking about quirks earlier on and how every baseball stadium was unique back in the day.
Yes.
I don't think they get much more unique than Yankee Stadium. The fact that the Monument Park, where they have all the legendary plaques, they used to be in the field of play back at old Yankee Stadium back before modern baseball.
Right.
But like the plaque for Babe Ruth and stuff was like just kind of tucked out in center field. You kind of had to work your way around it to field fly balls. And
yeah. Well, there's a stadium that comes up a little later in this list, which is Minute Maid Park in Houston. And if you remember when it was Enron Field, they had that
hill.
A hill.
It was a 90-foot wide hill in center field, and it was to mimic Crosley Field.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
They got rid of that. Yeah, they got rid of that quickly.
It's gone. It's gone now.
YouTube that, folks, and you can watch a center fielder have to climb up a hill to make a catch. Well, back in the day, you just kind of built stadiums around other buildings and around houses, and they were just built in downtowns, right? And, well, if there was a hill in center field, there was a hill in center field. That's kind of what makes the dimensions of Fenway unique, too, and the fact that they had to build the Green Monster to kind of protect the businesses and the houses and stuff around Fenway.
Yeah. Yeah, Fenway's definitely a top 5. Which I learned in this list is not the smallest ballpark. That's the next stadium up on the list, which is Progressive Field. At 34,830 is the smallest park in the majors.
Well, Fenway added some seating out in center field, and then, of course, they've added seats on top of the Green Monster. Sharp single into center field off the bat of Grandin Kinney.
Brandon singles to center.
Well, you notice how these crowds get a little louder as these games go on? The after-work parents show up, and by the time it's about the 5th or 6th inning, we got a big crowd.
Up next, number 3, it's Nick Davis.
Yeah, the late arriving crowds, like at Dodger Stadium, right? First inning, there's hardly anybody there. By the 4th or 5th inning, it's completely full.
It's just the traffic out there. That's the quirk of that area. But Progressive Field, they are about to dump $200 million into that next year, it looks like, to improve it. It's been around since '94.
Nick Davis lifts one to shallow left. Benji Cook camps under it and puts it in his back pocket. 2 down, leave things up to Louis Sullivan. Sullivan flew out to the right fielder, Ravella, back in the 2nd inning.
Now batting, it's Louis Sullivan.
Logan DeVos waits on deck, hoping for the opportunity to hit. Quick snap throw down to first. Kinney got a big secondary lead, so Beach's Zone just trying to keep him honest down at first. Cutthroat glares over at Kinney, misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count now on Sullivan. Sullivan reaches out, able to slap one into center field. Kinney's going to go over to third. Throw beats him there, and he is dead to rights. Brandon Kinney got aggressive and gets cut down by Tyler Bronchick.
Good throw down there, too.
So Kinney trying to take the extra base, gets cut down for the final out of the inning. 4 in the books. Falcons clinging to a 1-0 lead.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
It'll be the top of the lineup here for the Falcons in the 5th. Tyler Bronchick, 0 for 1, has been on base once. Struck out in the 1st and walked in the 3rd. Kyle Robbins back on the mound, and Andy, last time out for Kyle Robbins, back in the 4th inning. First inning of this ball game that he did not record a strikeout. Struck out 2 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and nothing in the 4th. Maybe the Falcons have figured him out just a bit.
Well, maybe, and he did have some wildness problems there an inning ago, but he's keeping his team in it. They're just not helping him much. They can't do much at all at the plate themselves at the moment.
Ooh, a very generous strike call there.
Yeah, I'm looking at these pitches being called strikes, and far be it from me to second guess an umpire, but I swear they're outside by quite a lot.
I can assure you there's nothing a hitter can do with that pitch on the lower half of the outside part of the plate.
No.
That's pretty much an automatic take. Mr. Avery Gatch in attendance. One of the top recruits in the state of Michigan for football. Birmingham Grove student. Slow roller down to Schenfeld. Boy, throws an absolute strike to first.
Very few misplays by either side.
Yeah,
on
the defense
infield.
has been
I mean,
good.
if there's a play to be made, these guys are making it. And any mistakes, it seems like, that are made are out of aggressiveness rather than, incompetence.
Whitted 0 for 2 this afternoon. Couple strikeouts. Wants to avoid the hat trick, and he will do just that. High chopper over the mound. Charged by the second baseman, Davis. Not going to get the fleet-footed Stephen Whitted. It'll be an infield single for the shortstop.
Safe at first.
Well, that's what Whitted's speed can do for the Falcons. He really hustled down that line, and it was kind of a slow chopper.
Is he still running? Oh, no, here he comes.
Wasser's up next.
Yeah, come back, Stephen.
He was about halfway down the first base or right field line. Get another look here.
Cleanly fielded and a nice throw, but the umpires even wanted to just confer briefly to make sure that the call was proper.
That's the Groves team, 14 for 17 now on stolen base attempts. Whitted, a threat to steal every single time he is on the base pass.
Yeah, here's one of your leading candidates.
He has a stolen base in the series. Pitch misses outside. Wolfson tried to bring it back in. I love watching these catchers work. Rosenwasser at the plate, 0 for 2. There goes Whitted, a little hit and run. Flared out to shallow right. Sullivan, had to go up and get it. Now throws an absolute dart back in. And Colt McKinney couldn't quite pick it at first. I think Whitted would have got back in either way.
It would have been close. It would have been very close, but yeah, he was 3/4 of the way to second base when that ball was caught.
Cole Burnell Cuttrell is up next, number 22.
Sort of a slicing drive.
Sullivan kind of had to slam on the brakes in order to make that catch. Maybe perhaps it took his momentum away and made that throw a little bit more difficult as he had to throw across the body.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that affected the accuracy and some of the velo.
The velo, there you go. We worked it into the broadcast.
There you go.
Some of that new school terminology. Andy Aubrey, he stays up. He's up to date on his lingo.
I'm on a lot of this new modern talk of baseball.
Cole Bronell Cutthroat trying to help his cause. 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts. A little check on me pickoff attempt, and boy, oh boy, the speed of Whitted is going to allow him to cruise down to third. Good backup. And that might have saved a run, that backup.
It did, yeah, because we know how fast Whitted runs. And
that was Kyle Robbins, the pitcher, backing up the third baseman there. So that's going to turn into a 2-base error on the pickoff attempt. And not a lot of foul room.
Whitted does not stop. He just goes full speed ahead. And now finds himself on third. Still with 2 outs and an 0-1 count.
Those bright orange kicks as you get another look at it here. Healthy cut by Bronell Cutthroat. Fouls it straight back. No balls, 2 strikes. Big run down at third base.
Oh, all runs at a premium in this game. We are now starting to move along past the halfway point, and this just feels very much like it's going to end up being a 1-run game one way or the other.
Be a huge insurance run for the Falcons if they are able to capitalize. Waits on it, follows it straight back into the netting. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be 8-9. DeVos, Werner, and Kelly due up for the Maples. The 1-2, up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. 22 at the plate.
And that might have been a statement pitch there, just sort of get him thinking, you know, come inside like that, and now we'll see if he goes outside for the strikeout.
Goes right down the middle with some high heat and dusts off Cole Bronell Cutthroat for the final out of the inning. 9th strikeout of the ball game for Kyle Robbins. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Falcons in front, 1-0.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you like offense, you've come to the wrong place this afternoon. 1-0. Falcons in front of the Maples. Bottom of the 5th inning. Both of these pitchers have done a terrific job of keeping these loaded offenses from striking. Logan DeVos to lead things off. The left fielder 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Cole Bronell Cutthroat just has 2 punch-outs. But man, oh man, has he been outstanding. Scattered 4 hits. Seaholm threatened back in the first, put a couple men on, failed to score. And there's another strikeout for Cutthroat.
Well, if we don't bust through this list the way this game's going, we're never going to make it. So I'm going to whip through a few more here, Brad. The next one on the list is Lone Depot Park. And if you blindfolded me and spun me around in circles and told me to point in the direction of Lone Depot Park, I wouldn't know to point south towards Miami.
Ah.
It used to be Marlins Park, and I guess they've picked up the name. It used to be, it's in the old Orange Bowl site, by the way.
No kidding.
Which is interesting.
They got rid of that really ugly statue. They moved it outside the stadium, by the way, as it rolls down to Tingler at third. I think Derek Jeter moved that out.
Jeter.
He's in charge of the Marlins now, is he not?
Jeter.
Number 2.
Busch Stadium is next. They don't say much about it other than you can see the arch, which is cool, and downtown St. Louis is pretty cool. Next on the list is Truist Park.
Batting Jack Kelly.
Whom? Truist Park is the new stadium in Atlanta.
Which amazes most everyone because Turner Field was relatively new. What a play by Cole Bronell Cutthrow, fielding his position. A little bit of a jump throw a la Derek Jeter. Showing off the range, throwing across his body to get Jack Kelly. Whoa, quickly, 1, 2, 3, go the Maples in the 5th. We head to the 6th, 1-0.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Top of the 6th inning, Falcons coming to bat with the 1-0 lead as Kyle Robbins back out to work. And we'll get a look at some of his strikeouts in this ball game as they have begun to pile up. 9 now in the ball game for Kyle Robbins.
Yeah, Robbins is wheeling and dealing out there. He's kept Groves off balance, if not the scoreboard. They were able to scratch one across, but he has just really looked smooth out there from the very beginning, as a matter of fact.
5, 6, 7 coming to bat here for Groves, Tengler, Ravella, and Luckin. Waits it out. Deep in the hole, Schenenfeld. What a play. Wow.
What a play. Schenenfeld.
Flash in the leather, a little web gem.
1 down.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of stuff you're used to seeing a Gio Urshela or somebody make. I mean, this is, picks it up off the ground, takes a second to gather himself, and then rifles it over there.
That was the most impressive part.
Yeah, great throw on a rope.
Pitcher.
And we're at 1 out here.
Well, I think the reason that play was so well made was the fact that he did not rush himself. He gathered himself, knew he had plenty of time, was able to throw that strike across the diamond. 1 up, 1 down. John Ravella at the plate. No at-bats, a couple plate appearances, a walk, and a sacrifice, and will now be 0 for 1 after the ground out to the second baseman, Nick Davis. 2 up, 2 down, both via the ground ball. So when Kyle Robbins isn't racking up strikeouts, he's getting soft contact on the ground. Don't forget, Groves pretty much just manufactured their only run of this baseball game. Tengler led off the 4th with a walk, was sacrificed over to second by Ravella on a bunt, went over to third on a wild pitch, and then came home on a Nathan Luckin single. The only run of this ball game. Hard contact on the ground once again to Kinney, Grandin Kinney. Over to Colton Kinney. 1, 2, 3 inning for Kyle Robbins. Maples looking to get the bats going. They still trail 1-0.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Heart of the order coming to bat here for the Maples. It'll be 2, 3, 4. Wolfson, Schenenfeld, and Kinney. One would have to believe that if the Maples want to strike, now would be the time to do it. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Bottom of the 6th.
Your top 3 bats coming up here in the 6th inning. Wolfson 2 for 7 in the series, couple RBI to go along with 2 runs scored. Five hits through 5 innings.
And this game's going so fast, we're either going to have to do our list, finish it up next season, or I'm going to have to go really fast in the next inning and a half here. But Yeah.
On the ground to the shortstop, Whitted. Quickly gets it out and beats Wolfson by a couple steps.
Now, you mentioned Truist Park replacing Turner Field, which Turner Field was pretty new. I mean,
Yeah, built in for the
it's
'96 Olympics.
kind of like, you know, bailing out of the Palace when there was nothing wrong with it. It was not very old to begin with. Some of these other stadiums are 70, 80, 90 years old. It smacks of excess.
Schenenfeld. We know he has the capabilities of hitting it out of the park. Had the big fly in game 1 of this 3-game series. Big grand slam home run. Stands in that left-hand batter's box. Rolls it down to first base. Luckin will go over unassisted. 3 on the putout. 2 up, 2 down.
Now, the next on the list is Minute Maid Park, and one of the features, we talked about them eliminating the hill out in the outfield. But did you know they have Uber Eats available to you in the stadium?
I didn't know they had Uber Eats available, but I do know they have a train on a track above the left field wall.
Well, if you don't feel like leaving your seat and you want a Chick-fil-A sandwich, they'll bring it right to you.
Is there any way we can get one delivered up to the press box?
We should.
6 retired in order. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cole Bronell Cuthrell. What can we say? It's been an absolute pitcher's duel. We head to the 7th. Groves 1, Seaholm nothing.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
There's a look at our new relief pitcher. It'll be Grandin Kinney taking over for Kyle Robbins. So Robbins' day is done. Finishes with 9 strikeouts. So Grandin Kinney moves from shortstop to pitcher's mound. Colton Kinney moves from first over to short. And Kai McEachern will take over at first base. So second time we have seen Grandin Kinney come in relief. Kyle Robbins ends up holding the Maples to just 3 hits in the ball game. He's probably forced to throw a lot of pitches because of the base on balls. He did issue 3 walks to go along with a hit by pitch. The starting pitching has been fabulous in this ball game. Benji Cook takes a look at a called strike. Fill things up. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count on the left fielder. Oh, an absolute dot on the outer part of the plate. Gets Cook going down looking.
All right, let's move along with our list here. Comerica Park checked in at 14, and they did like the Ernie Harwell statue. Was one thing that was noted. They also said it was a little pricey, which I would agree with.
Well, I think we need to add on a few more statues now that Jack Morris and Alan Trammell have gone into the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
We've retired those numbers along with Lou Whitaker, so we need a Lou Whitaker statue as well.
Right.
Let's get working on that.
Citizens Bank Park, they mentioned, sort of a nothing. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, which will be replaced in 2028 with a new ballpark.
They got the fountains. That's kind of a
Love
cool
the
feature.
fountains. That was a real groundbreaking place, I believe, if you remember when they opened that place in '73.
Hard hit ball to straightaway center. Coasting over to make the catch. Jack Kelly, 2 up, 2 down.
Citi Field was next, home of the Mets.
They still have the home run apple.
Yeah, they liked Citi much better than Yankee Stadium. Number 10 was Target Field, Minnesota, which was, they called it comfortable.
Pitch misses low and away.
Number 9 on the list, T-Mobile Park. We mentioned that earlier with the retractable roof. Number 8 was Coors Field in Denver.
I've taken a tour of Coors Field. Didn't see a ball game there, but took a tour. I asked if I could go into the humidor to see where they keep all the baseballs, and I was given a stern no.
No to that. Okay.
So another fly out, this time to left. 1-2-3 inning for Grandin Kinney in relief. Last chance for the Maple Bats. They will hit in the home half of the 7th inning, trailing 1-0.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/older adults.
Maples down to their final 3 outs. Need something to go right here desperately. 1-0. Run scratched across all the way back in the 4th inning, as Cole Brownell Cutthroat has been on cruise control. 1 pitch, 1 away. Grandin Kinney grounds out to the third baseman, Tengler.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that first pitch swinging this day for both sides, actually. But all right, Brad, let's finish our list. Dodger Stadium checked in at number 7. Petco Park in San Diego, number 6. A beautiful-looking ballpark from the outside, at least. I've seen that one. Fenway Park?
Yep.
Number 5.
Makes sense.
Opened in 1912.
Same year as Tiger Stadium.
And they said, you want expensive parking and concessions? Go to Fenway Park.
I believe it opened the same day the Titanic sunk. Followed straight back.
1912.
Yep.
Yeah. That's year my grandfather was born. He'd been 112 last month. He didn't make it. Well, I did get to go to ballpark games with him at Tiger Stadium, though. All right, number 5, Fenway. Number 4, Camden Yards.
The warehouse.
Baltimore. Yep. Number 3, Wrigley.
With the ivy.
Classic. Wrigley opened in 1914, so 2 years after Fenway.
And that is, Andy, considered Boston ivy with a little bit of Japanese bittersweet vines in order for it to climb up the wall.
Listen to this guy.
It was brought in by the Clavey family, who took care of the Wrigley family's homes in Wisconsin and Illinois. Tap back to the mound. Cole Brownell Cutthroat goes over to first. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, since we're down to our last out, we better get the last 2 in, and that's interchangeable according to the 2 lists I saw. One was PNC Park in Pittsburgh at number 1. And 2 is what they call Oracle Park in San Francisco now, but it was once known as Pac Bell Park, SBC Park, and AT&T Park. So there you go, with your phone companies changing names.
So Louis Sullivan will be the man here for the Maples, trying to keep this ball game going. Cole Brownell Cutthroat has been dominant. Falcon faithful wanted a strike call there, didn't get it. So yeah, that would make sense. Pittsburgh and San Francisco both built on the water. McCovey Cove in San Francisco.
Right.
What is it, the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh?
Yep, the Ohio River, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela.
Clemente Bridge.
It's a fun walk. I remember going to a Lions game before at Three Rivers, where you stay at the Cincinnati Marriott in Kentucky. Across the river, you take the footbridge. And haven't been to PNC yet, but they said it just gets better with age.
Yeah, I heard the sight lines are crazy good looking into downtown. Fastball misses up and away.
What do we say, Brad? That last out, right? It's the
toughest one to get. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Cutthroat into the full windup. Check swing. They said he went. Tag applied by Feature Zone. The Abraham Lincoln Sox work again. Sean Morrison and the Groves Falcons win it 1-0. Pitchers duel won by Cole Brownell Cutthroat. Dominating performance. The lone run scored in the top of the 4th inning. A complete game shutout by Cole Brownell Cutthroat, who will be going to Kalamazoo College. What a performance as the Falcons end up taking the series 2-1. They improve their overall record to 10-2. The Seaholm Maples fall to 6-2 on the season. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, it'll be our post-game coverage, including our BACB Sports Player of the Game interview.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back one final time to Maple Park here at Birmingham Seaholm High School. Once again, your final score, the Groves Falcons on the road come in and steal one 1-0. Thanks in large part to a terrific pitching performance this afternoon by Cole Brownell Cutthroat. Ends up retiring the last 9 Maple hitters in order as he scatters 5 hits and strikes out 4. He is now alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We are down here with our BACB Sports Player of the Game, Brownell Cutthroat, my man. 5 hits scattered throughout this game, and you were just dealing. How do you feel this game went in your mind? Obviously, pretty good, but give us your estimation.
Well, I mean, I came in the game. I know their pitcher, Robbins, he's a good player, and I knew I had to keep it locked in throughout the whole game. And I wasn't really trying to get guys out with the strikeout. I was just trying to have the team behind me help me out, and it was all about the team in this game for sure.
Yeah, it might have been nice if they'd gotten you a couple more runs. Did that cross your mind? Did you say anything to them about that?
Well, I mean, I can't really say anything when there's a guy on third base and I come up and strike out. So.
Okay. All right, well, that's being very accountable of you, Cole. So, I mean, these are 2 big wins against your rival. These guys got state, championship aspirations over here, and you just took 2 out of 3 for them. What do you think this will do for your team moving forward?
Well, I know we got a great group of guys, and I think this is like a pivotal win to show we can beat great teams, and especially on the road as well. So I think this is just a stepping stone in our journey.
Yeah, you kind of ruined their nice new field, but I'm sure you will not lose any sleep over that. So, well, congratulations, Cole. You guys pitched a great game. I mean, we just watched you keep them off balance the whole time. So I'm sure personally for you, this will give you a lot of confidence moving forward as well. Care to make any predictions for where the Groves Falcons end up this year?
Winning districts, hopefully.
All right. Okay. You've heard it. The rest of the league's on blast. So congratulations to you and your teammates. The Falcons looked fantastic today. And again, you're going to remember this series, I think, moving through the rest of this year. We'll wrap it up from down here for right now. Congratulations again to you, Cole. And send it back to Brad, who's going to wrap it up for us.
All right, thank you so much, Andy, and our player of the game, Cole Brownell Cutthroat. A complete game shutout, limits the Maples to 5 hits and struck out. Well, he struck out 4. A terrific, dominating performance by that young man on the mound as he will be taking his talents next season to Kalamazoo College. The Groves Falcons end up taking the last 2 games of this series to claim the series 2-1. The final score, once again, here this afternoon, 1-0. The Groves Falcons improve their overall record to 10-2. The Seaholm Maples fall to 6-2. For my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, and the rest of our hardworking BACB sports crew, including our director this afternoon, Steve Rhoda, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Maple Park. Once again, your final score, the Groves Falcons 1, the Seaholm Maples 0. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on BACB Sports.